Reporters just cannot get their minds around this story. A little black girl in Alabama committed suicide the other day after being bullied by students at her school. Okay, that was the first day story and especially in a lot of places like the New York Post and even in the local press. That was the story. But if you read down and down and down and down and down, you came to the real story. They buried the lead. They were bullying her, harassing her, attacking her because they didn't like the fact that she had a white friend. She had a little white boy she hung around with at school. They taunted her mercilessly until she committed suicide because of her friendship with a white boy. The local press didn't even think that was enough to mention.
Tonight, a West Alabama family is grieving the death of their daughter who took her own life. The mother of 9-year-old Mackenzie Adams says her daughter committed suicide because she was bullied at her school. And tonight, that family is speaking out. CBS 42 News reporter Tim Reed has reaction from them and the school district.
9-year-old Mackenzie Adams attended 4th grade at this elementary school here in Demopolis. Her family tells us she told her principal and her teachers she was being bullied a number of times.
I know just seeing my baby laying there, not being able to say nothing to me, this wasn't going to really do it.
Jasmine Adams says her heart is broken. 1 week ago, her daughter died by suicide. Adams tells us her daughter was being bullied at her school by some classmates. The 9-year-old's grandmother found her after she hung herself.
Our trust was in them, that they would do the right thing. And it just feels like to me it wasn't.
Adams tells us she is upset with the school system. She transferred her daughter to U.S. Jones Elementary from a school in Linden because Mackenzie was being bullied there. At her new school, Adams says the issue started again.
Things you wouldn't think a 9-year-old should know. And before my baby could tell me some of the things that they had, said to her, I was just like, where are they learning this from?
Demopolis City Schools attorney Alex Braswell says the case is under investigation.
We have provided grief counselors, crisis counselors at the schools, ministers, youth ministers have been on campus.
That was my angel. She was a straight-A student, very smart.
Funeral services for Mackenzie Adams will take place here at her school next Saturday.
Just the other day, we did a story about an NPR podcast about a black woman who wrote a book about child abuse and physical corporal punishment in black homes. She said the overwhelming majority of black parents spanked their children, and in lots of cases it goes beyond spanking into child abuse. Okay, so that what it was. But what I thought was interesting about this whole podcast was not just that, but also about the other things the black people on this podcast were telling us about why black people spank their kids. They said they spank their kids because the parents are constantly telling them if they don't learn how to behave, white people are going to kill them. So I'm spanking you to protect you from going to jail, and in a white jail, I'm spanking you to protect you from the white cops.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Boy, this level of black on white hostility and hatred is something these kids are learning at a very, very early age. As the mother in this video said, where did those kids learn it? These little kids were going around yelling at this girl for hanging around with white people. That was a sin, an unforgivable sin. A sin that makes the black kids angry.